I'm Eric Loy, and welcome to Eric Loy Interviews. On this podcast, we talk with folks from the VTuber community on their channels, their talents, their stories, where they come from, and their plans for the future. We welcome Nita Ironvale. Hi.
Hello, hello. This is your chaotic tinkerer and worm enthusiast. My name is Nita Ironvale.
And thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate you being here. I've been looking forward to this for a while. I know that you've been going great guns on Irium for a while. About how long have you been with the company?
Yeah, so I debuted with Irium back in July. I just hit my 4 month anniversary a
Mm.
couple of days ago.
Mm.
It's been flying.
So what brought you to VTubing?
So let's see. It's been a hot while, I feel like.
Mm.
I remember in high school watching Keys in a Eye back in
Mm.
2017 or so.
Yeah.
And then eventually I got into Hololive back in like 2022
Mm-hmm.
and very casual fan, very, very casual,
Mm-hmm.
particularly in Crony, and I would endure more than anything.
Yeah.
And eventually I fully got into VTubers. I think it's been exactly a year, I believe, a year ago, and then I got an ad for applying to Irium
Mm-hmm.
on my Twitter, and I applied I think, for the deadline ended. I spent a good time watching a lot of the Irium streamers,
Yeah.
as in the application requirements, it's like we think you'll only succeed if you are a user of Irium. And I ended up like completely falling in love with Irium, finding so many great streamers to watch through that. I honestly kind of prefer it in some ways to some of the major platforms, and here we are.
Mm. So what brings you to the format? Because it is different than your what most people are thinking as your basic VTuber. Play a game, play something, and then talk to the chat. It's all you and chat, isn't it?
Yeah, so I am not a very technologically savvy person, so streaming with OBS, with how finicky I've seen it be for some people, streaming Twitch, YouTube, also I feel like the audience is there, so it's such a big platform, it's a bit hard to even stream on there
Uh,
comfortably sometimes.
yeah, I understand that.
Irium
Yeah.
is very easy. The interface is very easy to learn, very easy to use. I really appreciate the intimacy of it almost. I
Mm-hmm.
like to say it's kind of like if, I guess, like FaceTime
Mm-hmm.
and VTubing and I guess TikTok Live almost combined into one. It's very straightforward, simple, and that's really what got me into it.
Yeah, it's basically if you want to get started, it's an all-in-one, and you don't need a whole lot of equipment.
Yeah, literally all I had starting was I had a mixer. It was not working at all. I was freaking out. I remember the day of my debut, and I'm like, I can't get it to work because you can play music
Yeah.
into the background, and I couldn't get it to work. So thankfully, I am one of those people I keep with my old phones.
Uh-huh.
So I had my old phone set up with me, and I played all of my music through that, and that was my setup for quite a long time until I finally got a functional mixer.
Yeah, well, it worked. You got
I'm
everything
so glad
through.
for that.
Yeah, I mean, in radio, I was in radio for 35 years, and you don't get through that without, having to MacGyver some things every once in a while. Or
Yeah,
you
uh-huh.
make
I
do
have
with
done
what you
so
have.
much.
Yeah, I know one time I sent two people out to do a high school basketball game, and their machine gave out on us, so we couldn't get the signal. So we had them
Oh
both call
no.
in on their cell phones and put them on a conference
Ah,
line so they could hear each other and do the game as if they were holding microphones. And
that's so interesting.
nobody in the audience knew
Oh
any
my
better,
goodness.
which was cool.
Yeah,
And I'm like, yay!
it works, it works.
I just invented a backup plan. which is
Yeah,
always
that
good to
is a
have.
really good in this day.
Yeah. So, so you got started watching early on. What was it that made you want to try it?
Oh goodness. There's a lot. I've always been the type of person I like to do things,
Mm-hmm.
but I could never see myself, I guess, doing them.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the last couple of years, I've been getting into the habit of, oh, I see this. It looks really cool. I know I can't envision myself doing it, but why don't I just try, you know? Like, let's take a leap in and see if this is something that I love so passionately and love it for myself, maybe I can give it a shot and see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
that was primarily my resolve of just if this is what makes me happy, maybe doing it will also make me happy.
Wow. Well, I mean, that takes some courage, to do. It's when you've
I
got to,
guess I was so nervous.
yeah.
Uh,
How long did it take for you to shake those butterflies?
so eventually I kind of just found my own rhythm. I found some of my regulars. And I just sit down and I like doing comfy streams, co-working streams. I like hearing about always whenever someone comes into stream, I'm like, "Hi, how was your day? I hope you've had a wonderful day so far." And I like asking them little things like that because I know I like it when people ask me about my day. So,
Yeah. Well, how has your day been?
goodness. It's been fairly good, thankfully. Um, Fairly short so far. I haven't been up and about too long, but my schedule has had me going to bed quite late, unfortunately. But I have
Yeah.
to remedy that because
Yeah.
most days I have to be up quite early. But
Yeah.
everything shifted for a little bit. But
Oh,
so far, it's been
yeah.
chill. Thank
Excellent.
God.
This has
I'm a very
been
chill person.
this has been a review of Nita's Day, brought to you by.
Brought to
Yes. Well, it does.
you.
You mentioned the intimacy of it, and I've been kind of comparing it to, instead of one person broadcasting to a group of 30 or whatever, it's one person broadcasting to one individual so many times at once. Um, is it
Exactly.
you
That's a
can't
good way to put it.
It's very hard for me to imagine the host using a group mentality very easily in dealing with an Arium audience, because it is that individual, and the latency isn't there, so they're really expecting it.
Yeah. It's definitely, there's a lot of really interesting things that come out of Erim, I feel like, and especially with the recent, a lot of like the viewer stuff going on other platforms. And I feel like with Ethereum, it's always nice because you're probably gonna have at least one viewer or even just someone pop in and be like, "Hi, just stopping in." Like I have a lot of like, "Hi, I can't stay for much longer, but
Yeah, just just checking in and saying hi. That's what I've been doing. I've
hi,
interviewed.
I'm hope you have a good day."
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I've been interviewing Arium folks now to the point where I think I've got half of them done. Because
I've listened to a couple.
yeah, well, see, that's the thing,
But
is
it's
that
so
the
wonderful.
it sounds like the person who would be someone who enjoys the Arium format would be somebody who likes to talk and doesn't mind so much that there isn't another thing to lean on other than themselves. Um, were you
Hmm.
somebody who liked to go up in front of the class and do speeches while in school, or did you sit and make fun of people
Oh,
and throw spitwads at
goodness, I have such bad stage anxiety.
them?
I'm like terrified.
Mm-hmm.
I've pushed myself to try and do open mic nights. I used to sing a lot in high
Mm-hmm.
school, and I tried to sing in college. Um, Ended up getting a bit too busy, and then also COVID hit, so
Right.
masking up became a big thing. But I've always loved singing.
Yeah. It.
The idea of being on a stage in front of a bunch of people, or even just one person sometimes, is just terrifying to me. I have
Yeah.
such bad anxiety, which is why I quite liked also VTubing for its, I guess, anonymity.
Yeah.
I'm not good at words, apologies,
That's good.
but
You hit it pretty good.
that's primarily what really attracted it.
Yeah.
Because I don't look awkward, I guess. You can't tell I look awkward because I'm a very awkward person, I feel. But having the, just being able to do it on Irium, I have had to get used to and embrace some, I guess, awkward silences here and
Hmm.
there.
Oh yeah.
But I feel like that just comes also with natural conversation, which is why I honestly don't mind it.
Yeah, it does. It does come up in that type of conversation, and it's the thing is it's natural though. As long as you're not forcing
Mhm.
something like that, you keep the
Yeah.
conversation going even when the people aren't saying anything.
Mm. And I feel like one of the best things, friend, a quality to have in a friend is being able to sit in silence with them.
Hmm.
So like there's some brief periods where I'll be like, hey guys, I'm so sorry for like being not super like upbeat and energetic on the stream today. I just feel kind of exhausted right now, so I apologize for the longer pauses. I hope you don't mind. And typically, like Chad has always been very receptive. He's like, "Hey, Nita, it's okay. I understand."
Yeah.
Like, we'll help you also. Like, they'll give me more stuff to talk about, and that way, like, brain can get that bolt rolling. Because sometimes just finding out and figuring out what to talk some days can just be really hard. But
Oh,
I've just hit, I think, 72 streams in a row.
whoa.
So some days it's really fun, and some days it's a bit like, oh, goodness, I did nothing today. What do
Yeah.
I talk about?
Yeah, and I see you on there all the time. I mean, um it's
Mhm.
I think you remember me following you some time ago, um
Yes,
and
yes, yes.
and it's been I look at the schedule and there they are, there they are, there they are, there they are.
Mm. Every day,
Yeah,
every
and
day.
you don't follow up on something like that you unless you're really enjoying what you're doing. And it
Mhm.
is it that interaction with the audience that you found out that you really craved once you got started?
Um, I think it's a mixture of my both somewhat competitiveness with my own person, like myself,
Mm-hmm.
where I started the streak. I want to keep it going. A lot of Ethereum streamers that I love have also hit that like 100 mark at least. I want to try and get there one day,
Mm-hmm.
which hopefully I'll get. And then also just it's just the love for the app, I
Mm.
guess, and just the love for talking with people is just so enjoyable.
Yeah.
I also I've moved to a new place, so my core friend group is quite far, and even then sometimes they like to hop in. So that's always like a little hey, if you guys want to chat with me today, banter with me in chat, it could be fun. But also it's just nice to talk because there are some days where the only time I have literally worked that day is on Irium because I talk a lot, but then outside of when I'm with people or like seeking out, I
Mm-hmm.
don't particularly seek out talking to a lot of people, which is why I enjoy Irium because it also A gives me the excuse to talk and B forces me to talk. So I'm not super shut in as I think I would be
Yeah. Yeah.
without it.
Otherwise, it's just you kind of staring at the screen, and everybody's staring
Yeah,
back at you.
I
Uh,
could
That.
if I could sit and listen to people talk all day, I would. I am one of those people. I both love listening to people,
Yeah.
but I also love talking to people.
Well, you got to have both really to be a good conversationalist, don't you?
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, you have to listen.
Hmm.
I mean,
Yes.
when I do these interviews, I don't write any questions down. I write down pronunciations because
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not always good at that. But
I understand that.
the whole point of the conversation is is to bounce off each other and react and come up with some type of follow up or adjust as it goes. It's
Hmm.
some people are out there listening like, no, you must script everything. Well, if that works for you, fine. Um, it doesn't work for
Yeah.
me. It sounds like you'd rather have the ad lib going on.
Yeah, I've always been a very talkative person. I
Hmm.
remember even as a kid at the dinner table, so I've talked about this before a couple of times on my streams, but I'm a triplet. So there's two more people like me, which is kind of insane.
Wow.
But I would be the only one talking at the dinner table.
Yeah.
Like my parents would be like, "Hey, bro and sis and Nita, what did you guys do today?" And typically for my siblings, it's like, "Was today good?" "Yeah." "What did you do at school?" "I went and did a test." And then me, it's just like, I don't shut up. That
Yeah.
was the big thing of just you're never gonna finish your dinner because I would never finish my dinner on time because
Yes.
I would just spend the entire day, the entire time chatting
Yeah,
the whole way.
you were the entertainment at dinner. That's it.
Oh, probably.
Now time for the Nita show.
I
Go.
just could not stop.
Yeah.
Like
So
my parents would be like, "You're taking all the oxygen out of the
yes.
room."
Well, no one else is using it. For crying out loud.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
I have stuff to talk about.
That's right. That's right.
Let me tell you
I'm.
about my day.
That's right. I need to talk. So it's it seems like it's kind of a natural fit for you. Um, you enjoy to talk. You know how to do the conversation thing. You obviously have the curiosity to engage with someone and turn any conversation into a mini interview if you really want to, and show enough compassion and empathy to not make it a one side question answer type of thing, which is which just drives me up a tree. I hate that so much.
Yeah, it's funny that you bring up the interview aspect of it all because I announced it like I think it's been 2 months ago. I've just been a bit too busy to set it up, but it should be hopefully coming out soon. I announced that I wanted to start a new sort of talk segment,
Excellent.
medium, as I call it, an Oshi overload, because I am someone that I will talk about my Oshis all day and every day,
Yeah.
especially in VTubing. I also have a lot of like outside VTubing, I guess Oshis as I would call them.
Yeah.
And I feel like fans have a
Uh,
really good safe space to talk about their Oshis and why they love them. And as I have been a fan of many things for so long, I've always had safe spaces
mm-hmm.
to talk. But then I feel like once you become a VTuber, you don't have as many excuses
Mm-hmm.
to talk about
Right.
your Oshis, or like for those of you that don't know what Oshi is, it's basically um it comes from a verb in Japan which is to push, and essentially you're kind of like it's
Mm-hmm.
who you support as a fan, who your favorite VTuber, who your favorite person, streamer, etc. Um so I wanted to launch a sort of talk segment and talk with people about, because like if there's one thing I love talking about is my Oshis. Like if you look at like I just set up my new desk and I just have rows of all of my acrylic standees on the top of my
Mm.
Oshis, and like one of my viewers was like, "Wow, you must really like," and I'm like,
Well, who is
"Yeah,
who
I
is the
do." And then I was talking with some Miriam streamers.
yeah?
Sorry, you cut out.
No, go
Hmm?
ahead. You're talking with some Miriam streamers.
Oh no. I was talking with some Miriam streamers and I was like, "Hey, do you guys want to just come onto my stream sometimes and just talk to me, and I'll ask you some questions about like Yoshi, why did you choose them? What makes you attracted to them? What do you think? Do you see yourself in them?" Stuff like that. I wanted to talk to people more about that because I love having that conversation
Yeah.
off of streams, but then also maybe a safe place on stream to talk about it would be a nice thing to do too.
It would, and I people ask me about, how do you feel about people doing interviews and stuff? I'm all for it because if you and I talk to the same person, you've got a much different angle than I do. You're on the
Mhm.
inside. You're doing these things, so you can ask questions from a different standpoint and cut the apple in a different way. Maybe get a different, better answer or more interesting one than I can. It's not a competition when you do it when something
Mhm.
like that is
I'm
going on.
tough.
It really isn't. Which I guess you kind of point that I can point that at VTubers in general. Right now, there are some who think it's a competition between each other, and that's not what it is yet. Um,
Mm-hmm.
there's still
Yeah.
there's still so many people that don't know that the medium exists that would enjoy it. Um,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, so bring them in, reel in all the fish, and then you can sort the fish out. And
Exactly. And I feel like VTubers are making such big waves in so many different ways. Like I've seen them, there was the big gaming competition, or I've seen like I think Madara Khan,
mhm,
wonderful VTuber, partnered with goodness, I'm not up to term with like gamer
what?
lingo and teams
Right.
and gaming, but she was on a team and that was super significant. I
Yeah.
remember seeing that and
Well,
oh my goodness, that's crazy.
yeah.
Like if she can do it, I mean, so many of into that without being like, oh, if I'm a VTuber, I must go IRL to go and do this myself, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. It
It's a
to me,
push.
I mean, there's some folks who I see who's streaming that I wouldn't want to mess with on these games because they're extremely good at it. Um, and it also shows. I mean, you've seen it where a VTuber is necessarily a very good gamer, but they'll play the game and entertain people along the way. Irium is you and you and then it's you. Um,
Hmm.
you have to rely on yourself, your personality, and the ability to hop from topic to topic because you could be carrying on several conversations at once. Um,
Yes.
has that ever gotten overwhelming for you?
Oh my goodness. Not overwhelming per se, but I have also well, I'm someone who loves to talk. I am someone that gets easily lost in conversation.
Ah.
So 9 times out of 10, you're gonna hear me in my stream go, what was I talking about again? Chat, what was I talking about again? And then I have to like backtrack in that conversation. And I do that outside of Irium too. I've done that at work. I've done that with friends. And I'm like, guys, how did I get here? And I have to go back and like map that out, my brain thoughts. And sometimes we're like, okay, I need to pause this. I'm going to say this thought, go back. That's what I have found has been working the most. So it hasn't been overwhelming to say, but I have had to get more adaptive and a bit more. I've had to get a lot better at remembering what I say because I literally said this yesterday on stream. Hey, sometimes it's a really bad thing, but I genuinely don't remember what comes out of my mouth sometimes.
uh,
I don't know where it comes from. I don't know like what I was even talking about to get
yeah,
here,
yeah,
but this is a fun ball I'm on and this is a hill I might be dying on, but we'll see.
yeah, yeah. It's and again, your voice is very smooth and welcoming, and that makes
It's nice.
that
Thank
makes
you.
a very big difference, I think, in something like this. And you're just congenial is a good way to put it. I would have a hard time imagining you getting overly angry at somebody just from us talking here. And and if you
No,
some if somebody did make you angry, they would feel really bad about it.
you'd have to try really hard to make me angry. I am not an angry person. I don't like being angry to a point where, like, back in college, I did martial arts, and
Mm,
a lot of people on the team that I was on would come to our practices angry with the intent of like beating the absolute heck out of one of our dummies
right,
or one of like each other with like patting and everything on.
right.
And there were days where like, man, I'm so angry. And I would just go home and I'd take a nap and I'd come to practice like, oh my gosh, Nita's angry. Why are you angry, Nita? And I'm like, I don't remember. I just took a nap. I'm not mad anymore. So it's very hard
Yeah.
to get me mad and then to keep me mad. You have to push a lot of boundaries.
Oh,
But even so, there's options on Irium. Like, I had someone, but you have this with chatters and streamers alike. I feel like we all face the similar problem of someone coming in that's not the most ideal. And you just quick ban, quick report. That's all it is. If someone's really doing something aggressive or something like that, that is an option, which is really nice on
Yeah.
the Arium platform because you have to go through a couple of hoops to like set up an account.
Right.
And if you do get booted off or blocked, typically we've had just people come in with the same exact name, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I just kicked you out of here. Why are you back? You know?
Yeah. Yeah. And you have to have control of that, and I hope people remember that there's not like six moderators keeping an eye on what's going on. You are the moderator.
Yeah, I control the stream. I believe Irium, because Irium G, the Japanese side, has moderators, and I believe we will be having moderators put in soon for EN. I'm not entirely sure, but talk of that happening soon.
Yeah. Well,
Which a big enough. Well, it depends. Some days I have a really big chat that's a bit more rambunctious than I can keep up with, so having at least a mod would be nice.
yeah.
But as of right now, I am the one that is in control primarily. I can, if I want to, let chat control me, but I tend not to, because I want to keep it safe and also fun, and I want to keep the vibes
You
like
know,
fun and happy.
it was funny that you mentioned Crony before because you kind of give that vibe off a little bit.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
That
Uh,
makes me very happy.
yeah.
She's truly, I look up at the desk I mentioned earlier, up at my Crony acrylics. That makes me
Well,
happy.
she's got a very dry humor,
Oh,
which
yes, she's so funny.
and when it hits, I'm in tears because
Yes.
that,
She is the most like deadpan, elaborate, almost like sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, how did you think of this so quickly on the spot? Especially when you put her with other chaotic like VTubers, namely, I think anytime she's been with Gigi, I've been like absolute tears
yeah, well, that's with
because
anybody
they
with
just
Gigi, isn't
bounce
it?
off so well.
I mean, they
It's
they
they,
that last bunch they put in seemed to be absolute perfect fits.
yeah, everything has just been like there's so many wonderful girls, especially of Hololive, that I so admire and I can call my Oshis, and that's primarily like they really are what got me into VTubing. And I look at them and I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to be like you. I want to strive and curate such a wonderful audience because I think the way that they hold themselves, the way that they have fostered such beautiful fan bases of their own, honestly, it's so incredible to watch, especially as a fan of many of them.
Hmm.
And I can understand some days what they're dealing with
Yeah. Yeah.
or what they're going in terms of their streaming journey as I also am a streamer. So it
Right.
kind of
Yeah. It's a
I
it's
guess to see that now I'm like, oh yeah,
yeah.
but I
Yeah.
love
You get to see it from
VTubers and
now that you are streaming, you get to see it from a different angle. Obviously.
hmm
Oh, and it's like
I've always been like that
it's
to
some.
see different angles.
Oh yeah, and old radio guys we used to listen to somebody else's radio station, and we'd hear something that didn't quite sound right, and we'll know exactly why it happened. It's
Hmm
Opie dropped the commercial, and he's trying to talk and reach down and pick up the commercial at the same time.
No. Oh
Yeah,
no.
which happened more than you would think back then. Because
Uh,
now it's on all on computer, so you don't unless you drop the computer, which could certainly happen. Um,
that would be that would not be good.
no, it would not, especially on a radio budget. It would not be very good.
Mm-mm, no,
Yeah,
that would be a very not fun thing to fix or replace.
no,
I,
no, you
I
can't.
envy that.
Tough to trade that out for enough
Yeah.
advertising that it'd be worth it. Um, so with all this, and you've settled in with Irium, and you're obviously very comfortable with it. Do you see yourself branching out to other types of streaming?
Oh, I've been in the process of setting up a Twitch as of recently,
Uh-huh.
and it's not so much because I wanted to move to Twitch, I guess, in a way, but more so there's a lot of things, a lot of games that I love to play and I love talking about and I want to play and experience them
Mm.
with friends, with chat. I've always been the type of person where like I had to get an extra storage card for my Switch because I take so many screenshots and I want to like share them with people. And I like keeping people in the loop of like what I'm doing in the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think naturally the next progression was co-streaming or doing occasional streams on Twitch where I'm playing through a game that I would love. Like I've been doing recently on Irium, I've been playing through a ROM hack for Pokemon,
Mm.
and through that I'll let chat like they can send in points or get or recommend nicknames and things like that. Or if I know chats like if I know any of their favorite Pokemon, I'm like, you want me to name them after you, or do you want to name them?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
um, and just wanting people to be more in tune with what I'm seeing and what I'm reacting to. That's why I'm thinking Twitch would be nice, or also YouTube maybe for uploading song covers and stuff like that. As I mentioned earlier, I love singing, but singing in front of a crowd is quite nerve-wracking for me. And even so, I think uploading anything is going to be a bit daunting for me to do at first, but I'm
Yeah.
sure if I get into the rhythm of that, hopefully I'll settle in.
So let's say you do have the opportunity. Let's say right now you have the opportunity to do a song cover. Would you know which song you wanted to do?
Definitely. I've been trying to work on one for a little bit now. I've hinted at it in some of my tweets so far, but I have one in mind and I've been trying to record it, but stars keep not aligning and letting me sit down and actually work on it.
Mm-hmm.
But I have like a whole, I think several, I do a lot of karaoke's for my streams. That's something that also took me by surprise by how easily I ended up, not easily, I was quite terrified doing it
Yeah.
at first, but even then, one of my viewers was like, we can really tell how much you've settled in doing this
Oh.
from the beginning to now. You've gotten so much more natural, and it's so interesting to hear you relax.
Yeah. Yeah.
But now it's just, oh goodness, I need to make sure like my neighbors aren't like directly outside or anything like that. Just that way I don't, because I love belting. I like rock songs. I
Yeah.
like really loud singing.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's a bit finicky,
Yeah.
but
So
I have like
what you're saying is
so much.
it's not gonna be like Captain and Tennille when you do start singing on stream.
It's a long, like honestly, some days I've started streaming and if not warmed up and like, hey folks, I'm not warmed up at all.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a couple of weeks. I'm gonna do some soft singing at first and I'll warm up to it eventually. But right now, I hit like half the notes I usually would. Oh, please.
Yeah.
Please don't be like me and warm up before your streams and stuff, which I've been trying to do more, just warming up my voice before streaming because it helps me talk longer
Yeah. Yeah.
and not
Yeah.
rely and not hurt my voice because this is my job essentially. Well, not job per se, but this is what I like to do.
Right.
And I want to keep doing it, but I need to take care of my voice now.
Right.
So
Well,
I need to start looking more into
yeah.
all of that.
Well, with even having the avatar and having a very nice, presentable avatar and one that you're enjoying and enjoyed how it, functions, it still comes down so much to how you use your voice, and that can bring across your personality favorably or unfavorably just by how you say things. Um, have you found that you've had to really kind of adjust how you say things since you started on Irium?
Um, it depends.
Mm,
So, for example, I don't live there now, but where I used to live and where I was primarily raised has a very specific accent on certain words.
Yeah.
Like, for example, and I had someone in chat literally come and be like, I recognize the way that you say water. Because
Yeah.
I say, instead of water, I say water, which is
Water.
very northeastern
Yeah.
Pennsylvania-y type. And I have some like, I know exactly where you're from. And I'm like, you do.
Yeah.
It's like, that's something that I'm like, do I want to hide that part of me or do I just accept it because people will eventually piece that together and be like, oh,
Well,
you are
yeah.
definitely from there. And I'm like, yeah, it's really hard for me to hide that specific.
Yeah.
Ironically, that's pretty much the only word that I've really had to, or
Yeah.
just wording myself. I've kept it very authentic, very, I've scaled back on a lot regarding like cursing and stuff like that because I do curse quite a bit, which I've like as I've aged, I'm like, I don't feel like I need to be
Yeah.
cursing
See,
this much.
yeah.
So I've scaled it back for a lot, and doing that in streams has also made me do it in real life, thankfully.
Well, you save them for the time you need them. It's like,
Exactly.
yeah.
Like sometimes I'm like some days I'm like, oh my God, did I say that? Oops.
Yeah.
Ignore that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm in where I'm working now. It comes out. It just bubbles up when it happens, and it's not something I look to do. But by golly, when the computer doesn't work like it's supposed to, and all we do is stuff on the computer, then it's going to come out. I mean, it
Yep.
in
There's
and and you got to know when to save something and save that. Say you get an immediate response, a knee jerk type response to somebody's chat. It'll happen. If it hasn't happened yet, it will.
yes.
Um, you have to have the ability to decide whether or not you want to jump and come in with the hobnailed boots flying, or handling it subtly, or just ignoring it completely, and how that is going to affect everything else on the stream. Because if you come down too hard on somebody, everybody else is going to jump in too, in one way or the other.
Hmm.
And it becomes
Yeah.
a
Typically, it's just very polite correction of just saying, hey, Um, again, like here are my rules. This is chat rules. I even had this yesterday. I had a conversation where I had someone come in and be like, "Are dirty jokes allowed in your stream?" And I'm like, I preferably don't allow that
yeah,
that much.
yeah,
Seldom because I like keeping it, as I say, it's a safe for work 18 plus because Irium is an 18 plus app.
right,
Just that way we just don't have like minors and stuff like that on the app. We
right,
That's a whole can of worms. But
yeah,
um I tend to set my boundaries if I see someone in chat that it's like, hey, let's not talk about this. I'm gonna
yeah,
just be like, I
yep,
appreciate you being here, but um
yeah. Yeah, then that's when you suggest somebody else. You should talk to so and so over at Eram who's on right now. Go talk.
uh, well, if you want to listen to some great streams with a lot of cuss words, go this
Yeah,
way.
that's right.
I'm not the one to make dirty jokes in.
So at you you just such got a natural voice for it, and um, you've obviously settled in, and you're comfortable with where you are. Are you as far along as you thought you'd be at this point, or did you really have an
um,
idea of how to do that?
I am much farther actually than what I thought I would be
Mm-hmm.
at. I think only a couple of followers away from 400 on Ethereum, which is just kind of like mind-blowing to me. That's like essentially like if you break it down, that's like 100 followers a month, which like some like small streamers and things like that you can only dream of.
Oh yeah,
And for that to be with Ethereum is just so incredible and amazing to me that I have 400 people now interested in what I'm doing or want
yeah,
to support me
yeah.
or
How
just stop by and said hi and like, oh, I'll give you a follow. Because you don't have to do that, you know, you don't have to follow someone if you don't want to.
yeah,
But knowing that 400 people wanted to follow me is just so crazy to my brain to sort of like think of that.
Oh yeah.
Just thinking of that in my way. And I've had like specific VTubers like that I follow me back that I have been like fans of for a very long time. And I get followed back and I'm like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, is this real? Oh my goodness.
Ah, they noticed me. They noticed me.
Literally, I'm like, they liked my tweet. And then
Yes.
I get a follow. They followed
Yeah.
me.
What now? What do I do?
It's just pure panic of just, well, what next?
Yes. That reminds me of the old Monty Python sketch where they're doing they get the idea that the Queen is going to be tuning in sometime during the show. So they go on and do their regular show, and then the announcement comes: the Queen has just turned on Monty Python's Flying Circus, and they all just suddenly stand up and are very respectful and cordial and just and none of the weirdly silly stuff that Monty Python usually does, and God Save the Queen plays, and then you hear the answer: the Queen has now switched over to horse racing, and they go back to the regular stuff.
I remember, uh-huh, uh-huh.
Yeah. It,
I love things like that.
yeah, the
So
company's
funny.
over. We better clean up for a little bit, and then after the company's over, put up on the table and just lean back and enjoy yourself the rest of
Yep,
the day.
exactly. Just keeping it chill. That's really what I tend to do for a lot of my streams is just I just sit down and I just because I really try to stick to a schedule. I
Mhm,
really try to make a schedule. I can't even stick to a schedule for like work life, like outside of Irium balance. So
mhm.
having an Irium schedule so far hasn't been working to me because I tend to do things on the fly as it comes up, whatever happens, That's pretty much what I just do. I just sit down and I'm like, hey, let's do this today. If I have something specific in mind for like a very specific stream, I'll talk about it like maybe the day before, or I'll be like, hey, surprise, we're doing karaoke at 12 in the morning. Have fun.
Well, I mean, how many of these now have you hit in a row? Like 70 some, was it?
I think I'm at 71, I
Which
believe.
is pretty wild. I mean,
71 or 72.
yeah, I mean that shows that not only are you enjoying it, but you're taking it pretty seriously. That you're taking not like you know I'm very serious when I go on, but you're taking your responsibility to your chat seriously,
Oh,
um,
definitely.
and not taking it for granted for sure.
And it's like not like do I feel like I feel like obligated, I guess, to come in and it's like I have to but it's like stream today this and it's also just I want to see how far I can go.
Yeah,
So let's see. That's it.
yeah,
That's my boundary. That's my limit.
right,
We've hit it, and I'll just start all over again, and I'll just see,
yeah,
watch it build up again.
yeah, yeah. Well, I think it's going to build up by leaps and bounds. Um, it's very obvious to me how much you fit the format and the format fits you, and your voice and how you do things. It's very inviting, and I hope that people will discover Nita and by checking out the Arium, and then when Nita goes on to do these other streaming, especially those song covers on YouTube and such, um, you'll follow Nita along with that too, and we will. I know that because I'm going to go bother you and stream every time you come on.
I will definitely look forward to that.
But it's a real pleasure talking with you, and to hear somebody having such a positive experience with it and enjoying it is very heartwarming. And congratulations for that.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure to sit here and talk with you and like talk a bit about my journey and everything like that. It's been wonderful.
Thank you for listening to Eric Loy Interviews. Join us again next time when we talk to another member of the always interesting VTuber community.